Hi traders, welcome to our weekly top-down analysis. So we are beginning our analysis with volatility 101S from the weekly time frame. And as always, we start by marking our supply and the demand zones. So if we can see price just stepped into this supply zone. So we have our supply zone right there, where price has just stepped in. And then down here, we have our demand zone. We have our demand zone. Now the bias is very clear, as you can see from the weekly time frame. Price is moving from the supply headed to the demand zone. Therefore, we're going to be looking for selling opportunities until we get to the demand zone. Heading over to the daily time frame, we can see that we have an internal break of structure right there. We have an internal break of structure, and then we also have another break of structure right there. So we have a break of structure. So we have a break of structure right there. And then we also have another break of structure. We also have another break of structure right there. That is all from the daily time frame. If we head over to the 4 hours time frame, we can be able to clearly see which order blocks were mitigated and which ones were not. So if we are to adjust this break of structure, this is what we are going to have. As we can see up here, that order block up there was already mitigated. Therefore, that one is of no use to us. We always go to the most recent break of structure, which in this case is that break of structure right there. So we have our break of structure, and then the order block which caused the break of structure from the 4 hours time frame. It is that order block right there. It's that order block. It's that order block right there. So it is that order block right there. And then we also have a break of structure right there. I'm seeing this as liquidity. Therefore, I'm not going to mark the order block for this break of structure. However, I'll only consider the break of structure up there. Therefore, I'm seeing all this as liquidity that price will have to clear to go and tap into our order block. So this is a setup that I'm going to be monitoring this week. So you can still, as you can see, price is still far from this order block. So I'm guessing it's going to take a long time for price to get there. Heading over to our entry time frame, which is the 1 hour time frame. If we are to minimize, so that is what we have. So that is what we have. We have a break of structure. We have this break of structure, and then the internal break of structure is the one that we're going to consider. And if you don't know the strategy we are trading, this is the SMC strategy, which is available on my channel. If you want to learn it, you can find time and learn it. Yes, this is what we are going to be monitoring. So we have our confluences intact. We have a break of structure with an unmitigated order block, and then we have the liquidity that's present that price will sweep to go and tap into the order block. So we are waiting for this to happen, for price to go and tap into that order block, and then we can expect a move to the downside like that. Our take profit will be at that level. So that's it for volatility 101S. And then moving over to volatility 100 from the weekly time frame, we can see that price has been selling for weeks from that supply zone, and then we are at this demand zone, and it looks like we are getting some buying pressure. So we are going to see if the buyers are strong enough to push the price up, or if the sellers are strong enough for them to be able to break this demand. And then if we head over to the daily time frame, from the daily time frame, price is not yet at the demand zone. If we are to adjust the daily demand zone, therefore the demand zone is still right there, and price is not yet there at the demand zone. Therefore, I'm still going to be looking for selling opportunities until price comes to my area of interest, which is the demand zone. As you can see, it's not yet there. Therefore, I'm still bearish. So my bias is still bearish, and I can see we have a most recent break of structure right there. So that is our most recent break of structure. That is a break of structure, and then the order block which caused the break of structure is that order block right there from the daily time frame. So that is our order block. So that is our order block, and then heading over to the 4 hours. From the 4 hours, let's see. From the 4 hours, that order block was already mitigated. As you can see, there was a break of structure. Price went to go and mitigate. Therefore, I'm now going to consider the most recent break of structure, which is that break of structure right there. So we are going to be considering this, the break of structure, and then we're going to adjust. We are going to adjust our order block. As you can see, price broke structure, and then it went to go and tap into this order block. However, as we can see, price did not yet get to our take profit level. As you can see, it's retracing back. It's retracing back to the order block. Therefore, let's see what's going to happen. If we can zoom in, we can see that we still have a break of structure right there. We have a break of structure. So we still have a break of structure right there. And then the order block, which caused that break of structure, it is that order block from there, from the 4 hours time frame. From the 4 hours time frame, it is that order block. And then if we head over to the entry time frame, which is the 1 hour. So from the 1 hour time frame, if we can adjust our order block, we can see that that order block was mitigated because there was a break of structure. Price went to go and tap in, and then we are getting a push to the downside. Therefore, I'm going to consider now this break of structure. This is the most recent break of structure. So we do have a break of structure right there. And then our order block right there. And then as you can see, price is at our area of interest. And as you can see, all our confluences are intact. Price has just swept the liquidity, which was sitting here. Price has just swept the liquidity, which was sitting here, and then it's now at the order block. So what we're waiting to see at the order block, I'm waiting to see a bearish engulfing, or the rejection, or a bearish pin bar, or the rejection candlestick, and then a doji plus the confirmation candlesticks, and then I need to see a tweezer top at this level. Therefore, this is a trade that I'm going to be watching out for to see if it plays out, and then my take profit level will be at that level. So I'm waiting for price to give me reversal candlestick patterns at that order block, and then I'll enter the trade. If we go over to M30, so you can see the buyers are still pretty much in control. So we're going to wait and see what the sellers will do at this point of interest. All right, traders, that's it for this episode. If you did find the episode helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, and then do have a profitable week. See you next week, and happy trading.